Hello students, today's class we are going to discuss about the next chapter, Python functions. So in this chapter we will be discussing about what is a function, what are the types of function, how will you define a function, how to call a function and everything, and discuss some simple programs also. So first, what is a function? Functions are nothing but a group of related statements that perform a specific task. So if I want to perform some specific job means I can write a set of statements and group that statements, that is called as a functions. Or in other words, we can call it as a subprogram. Okay. So instead of writing a lengthy program, I can write smaller group of statements as a function, and I can make use of that function in my program. So it is a named block of code that are designed to do a specific job. Okay, it's a named block. That means a block of code. We will be writing a block of code or group of statements for doing the specific job, and it should be named. So we have to write the set of statements and we have to name that set of statements. That means the function should be named, because when I want to use the function means I have to call by using the name only. So it's a named block of code that are designed to do a specific job. Using function makes your programs easier to write, read, test and fix the errors. So when we use a functions, without using a functions, if you write a program, it will be a lengthy code and it's very difficult to correct the errors and test the programs also. So instead, if you write a function means, then it is very easy to write, read, test and fix the errors, correct the errors also. So what are the advantages of function? So for example, if you, I'll give, see, consider for example, I want to find the series like this, sum of the series 2 factorial plus 3 factorial plus 4 factorial. Here you have to find the factorial for each and every number. So factorial has been repeated. So if I use a function, so I can define a function for finding this factorial. Okay, you have learned in C++ program also how to define a function. Here the syntax is completely different. So simply assume I am defining the function. Okay, so def factorial, for finding the factorial I am writing fact. Okay. So you have some set of statements. For finding the factorial, we will be writing some set of statements. Okay, so this is the function I have defined. The name of the function is fact. Okay, so I have some group of statements written in that fact function. So now I want to find out the fact series like this. Then I can call this function as many times I want. Okay, so I can write, I want to find the sum. So I can write it as s is equal to, so fact of, first number is 2. So I can write as fact of 2. Next, I have to calculate the factorial for 3. So I can call the function again. So I can write it as fact of 3. Next, I have to find the factorial for 4. So I can call the function once again, that is fact of 4. Fact of 4. Okay, so here without using the factorial function, if I write a program, then I have to, for finding the factorial, you know the logic, because you have learned in 11th standard itself. Okay, you will be writing some set of for loop and print and assignment statement and print statement. Okay, so you'll be having some 3 statements. So for finding the factorial of 2, I have to write 3 set of statements, and again for 3, again 3 set of statements, 4, like that it goes. And if it is a very lengthy series of numbers, then I have to write, so the program will be a very lengthy one. Instead, since the factorial has been repeated, I can define the function. Okay, so I'm defining it fact of n, and then I can call as many times I need. So I want to calculate for factorial of 2 means I can call fact of 2. So we have to call the function by using the name fact of 2, fact of 3, fact of 4. So this is the use of writing the function. Okay, so instead of writing a lengthy program, it makes the program very easy. Now we'll see what are the advantages of function. It avoids repetition and makes high degree of code reusing. that you have seen in the example also. So avoids a repetition, right? Repeatedly you are writing that factorial, we have defined the function and we have made use of that function. So it avoids a repetition of statements and makes a high degree of code reusing. That means reusability of code. It provides better modularity for your application. So we can modularity means module means again it is a group of statements. So we can for a lengthy program we can develop different modules and we can connect it. Okay, so it provides better modularity for your application. Next, two parts of function. What are the two parts of function? We have two: function definition, function call. Okay, in C++ program we have learned about the function declaration, but here there is no function declaration. We just function definition. We have to define the function, and when we want to call the function we have to write the function call statement. That's all. These two things are needed for implementing the function in Python programming. So now next we are going to discuss about types of functions. There are four types of functions: user defined, built-in, lambda, and recursions. User defined. What is user defined? Functions defined by the user themselves. That is called as the user. If the programmer defines the function, then it is called as the user defined function. Built-in functions. Functions that are built within Python is called as the built-in functions. Okay. So that is built-in functions means already it has been predefined. That means already it is developed. So it is predefined and it will be stored along with the compiler. It is coming along with the compiler. So that, and we can make use of that functions. For example, if you take that input function, print function, they are called as the built-in function. So already it has been predefined and come along with the Python language. So and we are making use of it. Okay. So it is built in with the Python. Next, lambda functions. Functions are anonymous and unnamed. It is without any name. That is called as the lambda functions. And functions that call itself is known as the recursive functions. Okay, function which call itself again and again is called as the recursive function. Now we will discuss about how to define the function. I told you two things we want to make use of. That is, one is define the function. Next, function call statement. If I want to make use of the function, I have to write the function call statement. Okay. First, you will see how will you define a function. Okay. So function block. That is, what is the syntax of writing the function definition. So function block begin with the keyword def. So it should begin with the keyword def. So we are going to define a function. So they have set the keyword as def. So first we must write the keyword def, followed by the function name, and then followed by the parenthesis. Okay. So what is the syntax? Let us see. Def is the keyword. Start with the keyword def, then followed by the function name. Write the name of the function what we are going to write, and then with this within the parenthesis, definitely we have to make use of the parenthesis. Within the parenthesis you can write the parameters separated by the commas. They are given within square bracket. That means it is optional. If you want, you can include the parameters, or without the parameters we can also write. That means empty parenthesis can also be used. And then below that, then at last we have to put colon, that is nest. That is a must. Okay. And then below that we have to write the block of statements. When we are writing the block of statements, everything should be in the same alignment. See, after putting colon, then automatically we have to leave the tab space. So the function block of statement should be indented. So block of statements, and we can write at last return statement. So return can have expression, any value it is going to return. You can that is write with the expression, or simply can write with the none, or we can also write a function without using the return statement also. That we will see later. So what is this is about the syntax of defining a function. Okay. For example, see, we can see the example. I have defined on simple function hello. So the keyword def is the keyword, then followed by the name of the function, and inside the parenthesis nothing I have not written the parameters. And then this is the block of statements. Print hello Python. That is a message I am giving, and return as a last statement. See here. So first one, this is the keyword. Next, hello is the function name, and inside the parenthesis I have not entered any parameters. Okay. and this is the block of statements, print and return. We have only two statements here, okay? So print hello Python, return. So this is how we have to define a function, okay? So the name of the function is hello. Next, what are the advantages of user-defined functions? Function helper. So this is an example for user-defined function. So function help us to divide a program into modules, that is modularity. Already we have discussed. Okay, so it is used for dividing a program into modules. Instead of writing a very lengthy program, the concept can be, that is simple task can be divided into different modules. Modules means again it's a set of statements, or you can say it's a subprogram. Okay, so we can use the modularity in a program. When we use the modularity, then automatically it is easy to manage, okay? And it implements code reusability. Once we define a function, we can use again and again, okay? So reusability. Every time you need to execute a sequence of statements, all you have to do is to call the function. So whenever I want to make use of or reuse those set of statements, I can simply call the function with the function call. Functions allow us to change functionality easily, and different programmers can work on different functions, okay? So we can divide the program into different functions, and each programmer can work on the different functions, okay? These are the advantages of, so the most important advantage is modularity. We can divide a lengthy program into simple modules, and we can connect it. And next one is reusability. That is, a set of statements can be used again and again, and it is easy to use, easy to read and write. Calling a function. So we know how to define a function. Next thing is, once we have defined, we have to call the function. Then only it will do the particular task which is defined inside, and it will give us the result, okay? So how to call the function? So to call a function, we can use a call statement. That is by using the name of the function. So I can call a function, I can make use of the name. That's why it's called as a named block. First itself we have discussed in the definition. It's a named block. So we have given the name for it. When I want to use it, we can use by using the name of the function, okay? So here the same program, def hello, print hello Python, return, and then I have returned hello, okay? So hello is the call statement. So I can call this function by writing the name. There is no parameters, so simply I am writing the empty parenthesis. I am not passing any values or arguments here, okay? So hello, automatically the control will be transferred when this statement. So in Python, listen, in Python programming we have to define all the functions. So it's not restrictions that we have to define only one or two functions in a program. We can write as many user-defined functions as we want in a program, one below the other, okay? And then only we have to write the main program, okay? There is no main function in Python programming. After defining functions and class and everything, only we will be writing the actual program. So this is the actual program. So the compiler interpreter will execute from here only. So hello, automatically it is the function call statement. So control will be transferring to this hello function, and it will execute the hello function. Here I have only one statement, print hello Python. So that message will be displayed on the screen. So return means then automatically it comes here to the next line of your main program. But here there is no statement, that is the end of the program. So you'll be getting hello Python will be displayed, okay? So this is the function name, and this is the block of statements, and this is the function call statement. So this is what we have to call the function. Passing parameters in the functions. How will you pass the parameters? So while discussing the syntax, we have the syntax of defining a function, we discussed the parameters, okay? So now we'll see what do you mean by parameters. They are the variables used in the function definition, whereas arguments are the values we pass to the function parameters, okay? So we'll be using these two terms often inside the function, that is parameters, another one is arguments. There is a difference between these two. What do you mean by parameters? Parameters are the variables used in the function definition. When you define a function, if you write any variable within the parenthesis, that is called as the parameters. Arguments are the values which we pass to the function parameter. That means in the call statement, we have to actually pass the value. That value is called as the arguments. Okay, now we'll see the program, you can understand. So you know the syntax for defining the function. First keyword def followed by the function name, then parameters should be if you are using more than one parameter, it should be separated by comma in between, and then colon. Okay, so after that you'll be writing the block of statements. So the parameters placed in the parenthesis will be used by the function. These parameters will be used inside the function. Now let us see one simple example. So here the function def area w comma h. So two variables we are using. These two variables are used in the function definition. So this is w and h are called as the parameters. Okay, and you have the function called state. That is we have the block of statements. There is only one statement, that too return statement with the expression. So w into h, and after that you have print area 3 comma 5. So this is the name of the function. So function name is area, and parameters are w and h. You know, parameters are the variable used in the function definition. So here w and h are the parameters, and the values which are passed to the function definition, that is parameters, is called as the arguments. So when I call this function, control will be transferring here to the function. Okay, so this 3 will be assigned to w and 5 will be assigned to h. So this only actually passing the values. So that's why this is called as the argument. So arguments is 3 and 5. And this area of 3 comma 5 statement, that entire statement is called as the print. That statement is called as the call statement. So once again, function name is area, and the parameters is the variables which are defined in the function, that is w and h. The arguments are the values which are passed to the parameters, that is 3 and 5. In simple, we can say that the values which are given in the call statement, that is called as the arguments. Okay, which is the call statement here? Print area 3 5. What do you mean by call statement? Means if there is the name of the function, name of the function is used, that is called as the call statement. So value of 3 and 5 are passed to w and h, and automatically returning as the output. So both values are multiplied and you will be getting the output as 15. So this is how the parameters will be passed in the function. So the parameters are the variables used in the function definition, and arguments are the values we pass to the function parameters. Now we will see the execution of the function. Okay, same example what we have discussed. So here I have defined def, the keyword def followed by the function name, and then parenthesis, there is no parameters inside, colon, then simply only one statement, that is print hello python return. And this is the main program actually, hello. Okay, now we will execute this program. So hello python will be giving us the output, that is the output for this program. Suppose in the next line I am writing print, inside the print function I am writing print call statement, that is hello. See hello python, and none is the answer. So once again we will execute this program in a clear screen. F1. So hello python, the first one is for the hello. We have two call statement. Hello, simply I have called the function hello. Okay, in the next, so for this you will be getting the output as hello python. Again one more call statement I have given, that is print of, within the function print function I have written print of hello. So it is giving us the output as hello python none, because we have used the return statement here without, it's not returning any value. So when we use this call statement in the print function, so it is giving us hello python, and none is also printed. So if there is a return statement without any expression or without returning any value, or we can say it's an empty print statement, then it will be giving us output as none. Okay. See, I have defined area with parameters w and h. Same example we discussed earlier. Return w into h and print area 3 comma 5. Simply I have called the function in the print function. Okay. So now if you execute you'll be getting the output as 15. Okay, so the return statement is not an empty statement, it is a returning some value. So I have used the expression in the return statement. The same, so that's why it's not giving us none. Suppose in the same example, I'm writing like this: print W asterisk H here itself. I'm printing the value inside the function itself and writing return statement. Okay, now I'm calling this function by using the print function. So now if I execute this program, see 15 is the output and none is because, see here, return empty print state. It's not returning any value. Simply it is calculating the value and printing inside. It's not returning any value. It's empty return statement. So it is giving us none. Okay. So this is about how we have to execute. So here it is a we are using the parameters. The previous example there is no parameters. So we have put only the empty parenthesis. Here we have two parameters. One is W, another one is H. And then this is the arguments. This 3 is assigned to W, 5 is assigned to H. Okay, according to 1 to 1 corresponding. The first value assigned to first variable, the second value to the second variable, and then it calculates the expression W into H, and then it's printing the answer. Previously, I have told about this series 2 factorial plus 3 factorial plus 4 factorial, and we are going to define the function for that. The fact of n, f is equal to 1. These statements are used for calculating the factorial. Okay, so I have defined the function fact with the parameter n. Okay, so this, you know the logic of calculating the factorial. So it's calculating the factorial and the answer is returned in the variable f. So it's returning the value. So fact of 2, I want to find out 2 factorial plus 3 factorial plus 4 factorial, and I want to find the sum of these. So s is equal to fact of 2 plus fact of 3. So 3 times I'm calling the function. Okay, so it add all the 3 answers and finally we are able to get the output. So we will execute this. See, you got the output.